Hey everyone, if you're struggling with how to care for your workout clothes when they're sweaty, you want to minimize the odors that accumulate on those clothes over time and help them last longer, this is what today's video is all about. Hi, my name is Loren, clothing stylist and personal shopper, and today we're in the laundry room and I'm going to be sharing with you the various tools and techniques that I use to care for my clothes when they're sweaty, doing this in a way to minimize the accumulation of odors over time, as well as help make the clothes last longer. So let's talk a little bit about our athletic wear and what happens over time. Traditional performance wear or athletic wear is made from synthetic fabrics. This is going to include things like polyester, spandex, nylon, and blends of those fabrics. And because these are like wearing plastic bags, because again, they are made from plastic, the odors accumulate over time. And the odors are caused by bacteria feeding on our sweat and converting it into acids. It's actually the acids that are the source of the odors. And again, because these are essentially plastic, the odors cannot really breathe or release, so they accumulate. So we're going to talk about how to prevent that from happening, how to care for the clothes in a way that will extend their life, minimize the impact and release of microfibers into water as well. Plus, I'm going to talk about alternatives to traditional synthetic fabrics that you can wear for performance wear when you're ready to replace your synthetic clothes with new clothes. So when you're done working out and you have your sweaty clothes, the first thing you want to do is do not crumple them up in a ball and put them into your laundry basket, because that is going to keep the moisture in, keep that kind of great environment for the bacteria to feed and convert into these acids that smell. The clothes will never really have a chance to dry out, so you want them to be able to dry out. I do one of two things or both, depending on the day and how much time I have. First thing I will do is put the clothes in a bag, typically. Sometimes I don't even do that, but just a regular old bag, and put them in the freezer. And now what this does is it renders the bacteria dormant, doesn't kill them, but it keeps the clothing from just retaining that moisture. It almost kind of, it dries them out in a way too. This is what I've observed, at least. Like for the sweaty clothes I put in, I will take them out of the freezer, and it's not like when they defrost them, they're still wet. It's kind of cool, actually. And then what you can do is hang them outside, and this dries them out even further. Now, I have read an article that said hanging clothes outside and in the sunlight may actually be more beneficial than freezing them alone. You may be familiar with the concept of freezing jeans. So I kind of extended that to workout wear. So what you can do is freeze and then put them in the laundry basket, freeze and then hang out. If you also want to further prevent the accumulation of odors, and perhaps if you're planning on wearing these clothes again before you wash them, one of the products that I love for this is called BioClean. This has digestive enzymes in it that help break down the odor, if you will. That's kind of how it works. It's really kind of a great product that way. So I typically spray that in the underarm area or wherever the garment is the sweatiest, if you will. So this is not an exact science, right? This is kind of trial and error, but these are the steps that I use. If you just want to hang your clothes out when you're done working out, that's great. If you want to just freeze them, great. If you're going to be wearing them again, I do encourage using this and just kind of spraying it on the sweatiest parts of the garments before you wear them again. You will also need either like a drying rack or a line outside with which you can hang your clothes. Now, let's say that you are going to be washing your synthetic clothes. I do encourage you to use a guppy friend. And I have an entire video for the guppy friend that I'll share in the description below. So this is a guppy friend. And it is a bag that you're supposed to put your synthetic clothes in to prevent the release of microfibers. So microfibers are literally microscopic fibers that are released when we wash our synthetic clothes, and they get into our waterways. And what's been happening in the news recently, and studies have been coming out, is that these synthetic fibers are getting into our food, our water, getting into wildlife, sea organisms, that type of thing. So there's no perfect solution to this problem yet, but if you do have synthetic clothes that you're still wearing, you can put them in the guppy friend when you wash the clothes to keep the microfibers in that bag instead of in the water. So lastly, when you're ready to replace your synthetic clothes, or you have clothes that have been worn out, I urge you to consider performance merino wool. Now, I have a brand that I personally love called Icebreaker because they have a really strong message around sustainability, and they are very much transparent about the ethical treatment of the merino sheep. So that's really important to me. So it's a sustainable brand, it's an ethical brand. So that's one that resonates with me. and there may be others out there. So the thing about merino wool is that it feels like jersey knit. This is not the scratchy, itchy sweater that you may remember as a kid, right? This is a really fine fabric and material, and it breathes, right? So it's a natural fiber, so it won't retain the odors the way the polyester does. And that's why I love it. The other beautiful thing about merino wool products is that they don't release those synthetic microfibers into water, as we just discussed. So I urge you to consider replacing synthetic clothes ultimately with non-synthetic. I think you will enjoy them longer, wear them more, feel better in them, and there will be less of a negative environmental impact. I personally have been wearing the icebreaker products as I buy them, and they're amazing. And you need way less. That's the nice thing, because they really do not retain the odors as much, so you can wear them more in between washes, which is really great. So let me know if you've got any questions. I would love to hear any questions or comments you have on how you care for your clothes or what's working for you, or maybe if you have a question about the process I just described. Be sure to subscribe to this channel so you can get future updates when videos are released. Take care, and I'll see you next time.